Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to day one of 2025. Now, bear with me one second. I just want to make sure that I am live on here and that people can hear me okay. Um, mm, okay, we're all good. Welcome to the first day of 2025. Can you believe we are actually in 2025? It seems like it wasn't that long ago when we were all thinking about Y2K. And now here we are. Anyway, I hope whatever you did last night for New Year's Eve, I hope you had fun. I hope you were safe, and I hope you're feeling okay this morning. We don't generally do very much, feeling good. Anyway, that's not why you're here. I want to talk to you guys today about our mindset around money. Okay, because a lot of the times we have these beliefs and these blocks that actually cap how much money we allow ourselves to have in our life at any one time. And I wanted to help you guys to really look at your language around money because our beliefs are often not what we think they are. There are very obvious beliefs that we have that are tied in with our values. So, what's good, bad, right, wrong. So, they're the obvious beliefs that we have. But beliefs simply words that we have had on repetition. Okay. Now, a lot of them are formed in that 0 to 7 year bracket where we're very unconscious. We're just taking everything in like a sponge. So we're not questioning things as well. We're hearing these things from our parents, from our teachers, from extended family and friends, and we're taking them in. Okay. And so they're the things that start to form those very early beliefs, and they're often the ones that are the hardest for us to recognize as a belief because we can say, well, it's just how it's always been, that it's just the way it is. And, there's so much evidence to support that belief. It's not really belief because it's reality. All right. But reality is just perception. Okay. Perception is based on your beliefs. So, anyway, with money, it's one of those subjects that I really want one of the reasons I'm doing all of this was partly because of what happened to me. Gosh, it was May last year. See, time it goes so quickly, and I want to bring the subject of money to the forefront, especially for women, because a lot of the times women don't have a great relationship with money. We are told, don't talk about money. It's not polite, and I'm not saying go out there and ask people how much they're making or anything like that. You don't have to go and start conversations about it, but don't also be afraid to talk about it. And especially if your relationship with money hasn't been great in the past, don't be afraid to look at that yourself. And it will be uncomfortable because a lot of times with money, there's, especially when we're looking at others, there's a lot of comparison. There can be jealousy, there can be resentment, and there can also be shame when you're comparing yourself to somebody else. And all of that sort of all of that emotion makes it very uncomfortable subject. Okay. However, I really want to urge people to move through that and go past it because at the end of the day, we all need money. It is the currency. We can't go and pay the rent or buy milk and bread with a smile. Do you know what I mean? We need to have some sort of money. And when we don't have it, it causes so much stress in our life. It's actually the number one cause of stress. Money is the number one cause of stress for people. And then you guys know what stress does to our bodies, what it does to our mindset, to our entire well-being. Okay. So when we're thinking about money, I want to go the next little part that I want to do with you is just go through and I'm going to say some statements. Okay. And just recognize, oh, yeah, I say that, or I've thought that, or I've heard that, or that's part of my money story. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't be, but I want you to recognize if it is, okay, without judgment. because this is all about awareness. Everything starts with awareness. If you're not aware that there's something wrong or needs changing or you're off course or whatever, you can't do anything to rectify it. Okay. So this is all just about awareness, because those emotions and especially embarrassment and shame when it comes to money, we will tell ourselves things to justify why it's okay to be where we are. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's fine, you know. You can absolutely do that. Just don't stay there. That's all I want to encourage you guys to do. Don't stay there. It's fine if what your reality is at the moment, it is what it is. However, it doesn't have to be for your future. And the first thing I want you guys to start looking at is, what is your relationship with money? What is your mindset around money? Okay, because I don't want you just to settle and just be okay. I want you guys to get ahead. 2025 for me and my family is about getting ahead. We've been settling, we've been okay, we've been putting along nicely for long enough. Getting old now, going to be 53 this April. So it's time for me to really get a little bit more serious and look at ways to get ahead. Okay. So the first part of doing that is getting that mindset sorted out. When I say that though, do it in conjunction with actions. Okay. Don't wait until your mindset is 100% Mickey Mouse, because, oh my God, who knows when that could be. It doesn't have to be perfect. There is no perfect. It just has to be moving in the direction more of the abundance mindset and further away from the lack. Okay. So as you're making that transition across, you're going to also be taking actions. All right. They've got to go together. All right. So listen to these statements that I'm going to say, and just make a mental note. You can write them down. You don't have to. You just acknowledge that, yeah, okay, yeah, I do say that. Or no, I don't. All right. That's all I want you to do for this. Okay. So let's go. All right. So the first one, I'm managing okay for now. I don't really need anything more. I'm content. I'm not struggling, so I must be doing fine. Now, remember, these are all nothing wrong with these statements. I want you just to maybe separate yourself a little bit and have a look and think, would that statement possibly keep a track on what I'm able to achieve, or keep me at this glass ceiling for my next level? Okay, that's all I want you to just to consider. All right. What about this? As long as I'm not in debt, I'm good. I've got enough to cover my bills, and that's what matters. Yeah. Other people have it worse, so I shouldn't complain. All right. I can't complain. I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you are living paycheck to paycheck. You feel okay about that. Not that you feel okay, it's that it is what it is. All right. And again, this is no judgment. Your current situation is simply your current situation. It doesn't have to be your future situation. All right. I don't need to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. Sometimes um, we look at other people and we see what they have, and I know I was very guilty of this. Oh, I don't need all of that. It's all fancy and show off and blah blah blah. Reality was I was jealous, and I didn't believe that I could have that. That's all it was. If I'm being truly truly honest with myself. And that's what I want you guys to do. Just start to consider, are you truly happy with where you are? Or is there a part of you that does actually want more? Because there is nothing wrong with wanting more. Okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. I know I used to feel very, very guilty about wanting more, especially when you look at other people who have so much less. I felt incredibly guilty about that. But money is simply choices. Money doesn't change who you are. If you're an asshole and you're broke, you'll be a bigger asshole. Well, not a bigger asshole. You'll just be able to perpetuate that bigger assholiness with more money, because you've got more money to do that. Does that make sense? It just Money just amplifies who you are. If you are a kind and generous and considerate person without money, you can be an even bigger, kinder, more generous person with money because you have the money to then be able to support the causes that are close to your heart. You have the money to go and what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name who bought all the houses on the last season of The Block. And he goes down to Coles and he's handing out money to people who are are doing it tough. He can do that because he has money and because he is a kind and generous person. All right. So, and this will kind of segue into the next part of it because a lot of the times when we're growing up, we hear these sayings like, money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy. And that is one perspective. Of course, there are people who are not great, okay, who do take advantage of people. However, that is not everyone, okay? It is not a blanket 100% sort of thing. So when you are growing up with these beliefs, they sit deep in your unconscious and they affect how you perceive the world. And this is where you can have that disconnect in wanting more. But then if rich people are greedy or evil or assholes or whatever, I don't want to be that. So you're unconsciously putting a cap on what you're able to have, okay? Because your unconscious mind doesn't want you to be that, right? So this is where it's important that you really have a look at, okay, well, what were the things that I heard growing up? You have to work hard to make more money. That's not actually true. The rich understand leveraging time and money. They understand how to make money work for them, not them work for money. So they don't believe, well, okay, I shouldn't say they don't. A lot of the wealthy are not working harder. They are making their money work harder. Okay. They're being smart with how they do it. So if we've grown up in that generation where it was normal to go and work for one company for 50 years and then retire, it's not like that anymore. You can make money doing nothing. You can be an influencer, you can make money playing video games. There are so many ways that you can make money that is not the traditional sense. So this is where, have a little bit of a look at it. I've got a friend actually who she's quite well off, but she had that mindset early in her life that, you've got to work hard to make money. And she did. She worked really, really hard and she made a lot of money and she's very comfortable now. She's got more than enough money. However, she's still got this mindset that she has to be working hard. She's not able to actually relax and enjoy her money and enjoy not having to work for it. So this is where, you've got to find that balance. If these beliefs drive you, if they're your motivation, if they get you to get into action, if they're working for you, then fantastic, keep them. If they're causing you a lot of stress and pressure and anxiety, then maybe think, okay, well, maybe this one's not really working for me because beliefs are things that are changeable because they are just words. Okay. If you had a rich person and a poor person in the same room, the rich person believes money grows on trees. The poor person believes that money doesn't grow on trees. They both have evidence to support their beliefs. All right. So who's correct? Okay. So really, really question your beliefs if they're not working for you. All right. Here's some more. I'll never be rich because I didn't grow up with money. Oh my God. There are so many stories of people who have turned that around. Um, Oprah jumps into mind for me. She had a really, really tough childhood. And look what she's done now. Okay. So your past doesn't determine your future. Your beliefs do. Your mindset does. That's exciting. I think that's exciting. Um, I'm not good with money. Then learn how to be good with money. Find people who are good with money and get mentored by them. Follow their advice. Don't follow broke Uncle Jim's advice, okay? Because you're learning how to be broke. If you're not good with money, learn how to be good with money. It's really easy. The Barefoot Investor is a great book to start with. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a great book. You know, find people who are good with money and listen to what they have to say. Okay? Everyone can learn things. You're never too old. If that's another if that's another belief, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, that's rubbish as well. If you want to learn something, you will learn something because it's important to you and you will make that decision to do it. Okay? If I have more money, it will change who I am. So that was what I was talking about before. It doesn't. Money doesn't change who you are. It just amplifies who you are and it gives you more choices. Um, I don't deserve wealth or success. Everybody deserves wealth and success and abundance. That is our birthright. That is our core is to be successful, um, to be abundant, to be happy. Okay, so everyone deserves that. People with money are greedy or selfish, so I've talked about that. I never be able to keep the money I make. Learn how to be a good money manager. Okay. And the last one, which I think is really stops us a lot, is I'll be judged by others if I get too wealthy. Now, that belief is when you go really, really deep on that one, it actually comes back to safety. Okay. And in Australia, we have the tall poppy syndrome. If you get judged, if you get criticized, could get ostracized, you could get sort of kicked out, sort of thing, be on the outer, which means when you take it back to a very, very primal, and this is where a lot of our beliefs they don't make sense because we have that fear, and the fears don't make sense. It's a very primal one, because back in the day, if you weren't part of a community, part of a group, if you were on the outer and excluded, then you would probably die because that's just how it was way, 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 way back in time. Okay. So there is this something about if I stand up too much, if I get judged, if I get ostracized, if I get excluded, then there's a safety thing. Okay. Now, that can be resolved logically, all right, and you can start to change that consciously. If you have got deeper, deeper fears around this, then get some help. Okay, get some help from people who are able to help you to move on with that. Don't let your past be a reason why you can't change your future. All right, because you do deserve to have all of the health, wealth, and happiness that you want in your life. We all do. And the more of that we have, the more we're able to then share with others. Okay. Now, so let me give you some little tips. We'll wrap it up shortly. I can see there's a couple of people watching. You're welcome to say hi, put some comments in as well, ask questions, all of that sort of stuff. I love it when there's a little bit of interaction. All right, so let's get into the tips. So the first tip, become aware of your language around money. Okay, awareness is key for everything. If you want to change in anything, you have to first of all be aware. So catch yourself when you hear yourself telling the money stories that you don't want, the ones that are keeping you stuck. Don't be hard on yourself. Actually congratulate yourself. Oh, I'm saying that thing again that is keeping me stuck. That's a good thing. Then reframe it. Okay. If this is what you're saying, money doesn't grow on trees, reframe it to be, oh, actually, money is everywhere when I look at it. Okay. Reframe it into something that makes you feel good. All right. The things that you say as well, because earlier when I was saying that a lot of the stuff is, it becomes our reality because it's just the way it is. Question the beliefs that you have. They have come from someone's perspective. Question, is that really true? Is that belief really true? Is it what I want to be my truth? Because your truth is really simply it's your beliefs and then it becomes your reality. So do you want that to be your reality or your continued reality? So question those beliefs, okay? And one way that you can do it is you can just ask yourself, okay, well, is there at least one other person on this planet who has the opposite belief to me? And if there is, then that means your belief is not true, okay? It can be changed. Remember, I just told you about the rich person, poor person. They both have very strong beliefs around money, but their realities are very different, okay? So question your beliefs. Catch yourself when you hear yourself talking the money stories you don't want. Question them and reframe them, okay? This is all about changing your relationship with money because money is simply choices. It doesn't change your personality. It helps you to be more of what you want to be. Okay. It just gives you more resources. That's it. So if you've got beliefs around, rich people are bastards or greedy or whatever, go and look for people who are doing great things with their money. A lot of the time, we don't even know that these people have such a great philanthropic aspect to their lives because those stories aren't shared by the media. They really should be. Matthew Perry is one that comes to mind. When he died, that's when they started talking about, oh, Matthew Perry, he had the Perry House. He was helping people battling addiction. And he had also another foundation that was helping people with their recovery and their mental health. We don't hear these stories. Okay. So this is where if you've got the stories going on that aren't working for you, you need to change them. And if you are looking for inspiration to change that story about, you know, um, people with money are bad, go and look for stories where there are amazing people with a lot of money doing amazing things. One of my other favorites was Olivia Newton-John. I loved her from Xanadu. Xanadu was the very first movie we got on Betacam, right? And I watched that movie a million times. And Olivia Newton-John was such a beautiful woman, and she was doing so much for cancer wellness and research, all right? She also did a lot for environmental charity. She was very strong in animal rights and children's welfare. She was doing heaps of stuff in that field. Kathy Freeman does incredible stuff for the Indigenous community here in Australia. She wants to help get them educated and empower them and bridge that gap between the people who are less advantaged, the disadvantaged groups. Okay. Gina Reinhardt, she's very well known because of the mining industry. And think what you want about the mining industry. She also actually gives back to education. She does medical research. She does social welfare. She provides scholarships for people as well. So don't prejudge is all I'm saying. There is so many people doing good things with money because they have the money to do that. It's just unfortunate that we don't get to hear about all of these things. Okay. So if you have that belief around, money is the root of all evil and people with money are greedy and blah 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 blah, go and find some people to change that belief because there's literally millions of them doing it. Okay. All right. So find that evidence and that's going to help you to change your beliefs as well. Because at the end of the day, no one else is going to be able to change your mind. All right. Absolutely, Cheryl. Money gives you choice. That's it. That's all it is. Money gives you choice. But you are the one that has to go out there and change your own mind, change your own beliefs, okay? I can't tell you to do it. You know what happens when anyone tries to tell you what to do and it goes up against your beliefs? It's like you shut down, you don't want to listen. So, this is where all I want you guys to do is start to become open to the possibility that there is a different perspective, okay? And if what you're doing is not working for you, then go and find some evidence of people doing what you want to do. Be aware of what you say, change your beliefs, okay? Because you are the only one that can do that. And that is actually some really good news because you don't have to wait around for anyone else. All right. So when you do all that, when you look at your beliefs and you change everything that's going on in your mind, then that is when you're going to change your vibration around money. So remember, it's about if money makes you feel stressed and you don't like talking about it, thinking about it, then take your focus off the money and go broad. Okay, remember, the law of attraction doesn't know what you're focusing on, it just knows what you're vibrating. Abundance is abundance, abundance is everywhere. There's an abundance of trees, blue sky, ocean, sand, air. You know, there's an abundance of so much stuff. So find something that makes you feel good. Okay. And yeah, keep doing that. It's going to take a little bit of time to retrain your mind on what you think and change those beliefs because you have been believing your beliefs around money for however many decades you have been on this earth. Okay. So it's going to take a beat for you to change that momentum. It's possible, but be realistic about it and just be consistent about it. So every time you catch yourself, go, oops, there's that thought again. That's right. I don't want to think that. I want to think this. Okay. And jump on and have a look at some of my other lives that I talk about, especially around the law of attraction, so you can get your head around that a little bit more as well. And if you have questions, please ask. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for watching the replay. Thank you for being on here live. Um, and I'm going to put that message up that Cheryl said before here. So there's going to be the biggest shift of wealth ever seen in history over the next 18 months. And that is something around specifically around the crypto space. And this is where having your mindset, though, if you read that comment and think, oh no, that's rubbish, then you just automatically close that door. What if it is true? What if it is possible for you? What if that big shift in wealth that people believe is happening could include you? All right. So just really have a good look at what are your automatic responses. What falls out of your mouth before you even realize that you've said it? Because they're the things that are going to keep us up. They're going to keep that glass ceiling that you're never going to break through. All right. And if you want to change it, know that you can change it. It's just going to take a little bit of effort. All right. That's it. That's from it from me. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you on Friday. I'm going to talk about uh, identifying your blocks when it comes to your own health and wellness. All right. I'll see you then. Bye bye.